So have a pretty busy agenda today. First of all, though, I want to have Pastor Jeff, Faith Christian Family Church, come up and do our opening prayer for us.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this time together this morning. Thank you for blessing this, Lord, and we ask you to bless every business, Lord, here in Lapeer, and thank you for bringing businesses in. And Lord, I'm excited to see that many buildings aren't empty anymore, and we're grateful for that. Lord, I thank you for blessing the rest of this meeting today and all the things that are spoken and said. And we just thank you for it in Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor Jeff. Okay, lots of announcements, lots of things coming up here in the next few weeks, in the next couple of months. We're a busy, busy community. We are going to be hosting a seminar, Boost Your Business, and I'm going to have Chris Rochlow come up here from Dream Bigger Consulting. She is our social media expert, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about this training that we're going to be offering. It'll be complimentary to chamber member businesses, and hope to take advantage of it.
You gotta use this, and you gotta be on video.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good morning, everyone. How are you? There we go. Thank you. Thank you. I know it's early. I get that. So Nita and I were talking, and we decided that we need more action in our community, on our Facebook pages with our businesses, so that we can help each other out. A lot of you do a great job, and I saw a little bit more action last time after my presentation, and I see people are working towards it, but a lot of people still have a lot of questions. So what we decided was to have a free seminar for our members, and what we'll do is we'll cover a variety of topics. You need to have a page already set up when you come, and then we're going to go over security settings, how to set up privacy and those types of things. We're going to learn how to create an effective event, so people will actually look at your event, comment on it, and hopefully come to it. We're going to talk about boosting. Everybody always says, when do I boost? When should I spend money? So we'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about how to handle reviews, good and bad. You should respond to both. We're going to talk about sharing links on your page, tagging people, and then at the end I'm going to go over some of the apps that I use in my business to create effective posts, bright pictures, videos, those types of things. It's going to be about an hour and a half, we're figuring. It's free to chamber members. If you want to bring a guest, it's $10 for them. There is a sign-up sheet back with Penny in the back if you want to just go ahead and get signed up today. It's going to be fun and casual. Are we doing it in the lab? Did you find out? We're going to do it in the computer lab here, so everybody who signs up will also have a computer to work from too, so that'll be exciting. So if you have any questions, call the chamber. You can call me or email me, and be happy to answer anything for you, and I look forward to seeing all of you there.
Great. Thank you, Chris. So like Chris said, it's really going to be geared toward businesses and how to really be effective and know whether your posts are effective, because you want people not just to scroll past them, but you want to click them and like, so it's beneficial. And it will be April the 26th, 6:30 to 8 here in the computer lab, like Chris said. And we'll have more information going out about that and reminders, and we'll have something up on our website very soon. So you'll have that information. The other big event that's coming up for us is the Lapeer Community Spring Expo. It's coming back, and it's going to be Sunday, April 23rd, 11 to 3 at the Center for Innovation. We're very excited. We've got some new fun things for families and kids, lots of vendors, business vendors signing up. So if you haven't signed up yet, get your registration into us. The information is on our website, and we've been emailing it out. We've got a magic show this year for kids, some airbrush face painting. We're going to be having Sparky in the fire department there with the big truck, which the kids love. We are going to have the Army is going to bringing in an interactive trailer so the kids can actually do some simulations of different types of things, Army vehicles and stuff like that. So lots of fun things. This year, for the first time, we are going to have a grand prize for anyone who attends from the community, and they can register to win a family 4-pack to Lapeer Days, so they would get 4 Lapeer Days t-shirts and 4 one-day bands to the carnival. And then Milnes Ford is bringing back, with Ford Motor Company, Drive for Your Community. So if you come out, you can help us raise some money for the fireworks. For every test drive that you take, they will donate $20 towards our fireworks fund. So it can help us beef that up a little bit. So we're gonna have lots of line dancing, self-defense demos, lots of great things coming up at the expo. It's free admission, it's a great fun day for family, and it's a great opportunity to do some consumer direct marketing and promotion of your business. If you have particular items, product that you sell, you're welcome to do that at the expo as well. So we had about 2,000 people come through last year, and we're hoping for even more this year. So the event is growing, and we're very excited about it, and hope that you all will come out, and we hope that you'll register your business. We also have a free Medicare workshop coming up, and this is being sponsored by Health Alliance Plan, by HAP. That's April 13th, 10 to 12. It's going to be at the chamber office. So if you would like to sign up for that, just give us a call at the office. And again, we're sending this information out via email. We'll get this information up on the website, or if you know someone, who is looking at that and needs that information, they're certainly welcome to attend. So you don't have to be a chamber member. So want to let you know about that. Connie Elkins is the one that's going to actually be doing the presentation and the educational component of this. So that is a Medicare workshop, and it is free of charge at the chamber. So now I would like to have Melissa Malcolm is one of our guest speakers today from Lapeer District Library, and she's going to talk to us all about, ta-da, the new plans for our brand new library. Come on up here, Melissa.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay. I brought the easel today with the draft. It's actually a sketch of the new building, just so you could see it. This is not set in stone. It is nothing that is definite at the moment. I think that architects really like to sort of play. And so I think we've got 5 or 6 different versions of the building at the moment. But what I want to point out to you is that right now, this orange space is what we have at the current library at D'Angeli. This is what we have now. And it is really not adequate. So we're hoping to expand with more meeting rooms and space for our staff and the citizens who come in. Before I begin, I want to announce a vacancy on our library board. One of our members is moving, and so we will need a county seat filled. We have 4 county seats, and we will end up with 3 after she leaves. If you would like to be a part of this new era in library services in Lapeer, let me know. My contact information is in the bag. It's on my card and on the little half sheet. And I'm happy to answer any questions about what the job entails. I've left time for questions at the end because if I get asked in the middle, I will go off on some tangent and I'll never finish. So, don't hesitate to ask questions, and if you want to get in touch with me later, I'm really happy to talk about this project. So you can call me on the phone and I'll talk for half an hour, I don't care. The web address of the site that we're creating to document the history of the project, it's in process right now. The address is on the back of the half sheet, right under my contact information. If you want to go to it, I'll just warn you that at times it's going to be up and down because of the work that we're doing on it. And I want to let you know that if you are a faithful reader of the county press, you will have read most of what I'm going to say this morning. I was one of those kids from Bishop Kelly who descended literally on the children's room at the Lapeer City Library after school and on Saturday. I don't know if many of you remember, but we could only go down those stairs into the children's room. They did not let us upstairs. The library seemed huge to a kid. When I returned to Lapeer in late 2009 to interview for the position of Assistant Director for Public Service, I walked into the building, and the first thing I noticed was that the staff had no offices. All of their work needed to be done at the public service desks, surrounded by the noise of patrons and equipment, subject to interruption at any time. We all love the building as a symbol of a classic institution, as the physical manifestation of Andrew Carnegie's desire to make public libraries essential to a community. We do not love the limits that it places on what the staff can do and for how many people. The planning for the new library actually began with a financial planning study completed by Bob Raz of Hartzell Micah Consulting and reported to the library board in December 2011. He recommended that the board include consideration of a new library building in its next strategic plan. And so the 2014-2016 plan included, quote, plan for library spaces in the district by 2016 by developing a space needs assessment / building program, end quote. By September of 2014, the board had hired Mr. Raz again, this time to conduct a facility study which provided detailed information on why his more casual recommendation in 2011 was indeed justified by his detailed study of the library facilities in Lapeer District Library. The state's library standard for minimum space per person in a library's legal service area is 0.6 square feet. Lapeer District Libraries is 0.26 square feet, including all of the branches. Our central library, DeAngeli, is 75% smaller than libraries serving a similar population. Community members were invited to attend Mr. Raz's presentation of the facility study to the library board in April 2015. In addition to demonstrating that the building size is inappropriate to the population, he studied collection size, space for seating, programming space, meeting rooms, and parking. His report drove the board to start actively pursuing a new building, but a great deal of work needed to be done ahead of time, and that board is still doing the work. In the spring of 2015, members of the library board visited several other libraries to see what a modern library looked like. As charming as DeAngeli is, and as much technology as we try to fit into it, it is not a state-of-the-art library. It was important that the library chosen for a visit be about the size of the building we would consider building. Yes, they had been in Southfield Public Library for meetings the year before, but that library is 124,000 square feet and not comparable to what we could or would want to do in Lapeer. In the late summer of 2015, the library board visited 10 sites in Lapeer and rated them based on location, cost, patron accessibility, and traffic. A commercial realtor gave the board some of the recommendations for sites, and the city and schools provided the rest. When the rankings of the sites were tallied, the old Irwin School and the lot across the street came out on top. It was later, after I had visited the elegant Charlevoix Public Library located in an old school, and the board had received documents from someone who had been interested in repurposing White several years before, that the E.T. White School returned to the list. In late 2015, 5 Michigan architecture firms received RFQs. 3 were sent RFPs and interviewed with the board on December 12, 2015. In January 2016, C2AE, which is out of Lansing and Grand Rapids, was selected as architect. Dennis Jensen is our contact. He has many library projects under his belt, and he really is the perfect fit for us. His communication skills are wonderful. In the case of the 2 school buildings, each was examined by a structural engineer and toured by the architect. The architect studied what could be done with the 2 buildings to make them into libraries, and created many sketches of adding space, demolishing what needed to be gone, and making as much open space necessary for a library as possible. And you may not know that a library, because of the materials, needs to, I think, have something like 150 square feet of, or 150 pounds per square foot. So it needs to be really solid. Commercial appraisals were done to estimate market value of the properties. A phone survey conducted by a professional research firm resulted in a very positive reaction to building a new structure on the vacant land. In the end, because the cost of renovating Irwin, or the school administration building, was almost as much as the cost of building new, the library board decided to purchase the land at the corner of DeMille and Davison from the city. Because 5 Oakdale buildings were located on the 8.5 acres, the library contracted for environmental surveys that would have assured us and the architect that there will be no surprises when the digging starts. And I got to tell you, getting ready for this project has cost us a fortune, but it's good. This property was selected because of its proximity to the schools, its visibility on a prominent corner, and its size, which will allow growth if needed in the future. We are planning on this building being good for 25 to 30 years. It was purchased now to show the library board's commitment to this project and to give the library board and staff the security of knowing that the land will still be available when the time to build the new main branch arrives. At the present time, the architect is sketching different versions of a 35,000 square foot main floor with a 15,000 square foot lower level, and that's what you're seeing now in his different versions. In addition to making staff workspaces more efficient, with sufficient elbow room, the new building will create space for our residents and visitors and will allow the staff to provide services that are not able to be provided now. Creative spaces, a business incubator for entrepreneurs, a local history and genealogy collection for researchers, space to display the artifacts and documents of our own Marguerite D'Angeli, and meeting and study rooms to accommodate many users and uses, an outdoor reading space, and parking. I don't know, if you use D'Angeli, you must notice that the parking is a real issue. The location of this building near so many schools, elementary to community college, opens up opportunities for those students and for the library staff who will be challenged to work with these students on educational and recreational projects. We dream of space to conduct classes outside, of music and video created by our talented young adults, of distance learning in our meeting room, of providing space for the Family Literacy Center to conduct classes that prepare children for kindergarten, and in providing the space for tutoring those students who need more, and in giving entrepreneurs some space, equipment, and instructional support that will help them to reach their goals. What can a vibrant public library do for a community? You can look at what the library staff does now in our locations in making connections to residents through Reader's Advisory, programming, computer assistance, material selection, and just plain kindness. Staff connects people to the larger world through loans from libraries throughout Michigan, through searches in our online resources for articles that we do not have in print, or for help in fixing one's car. I don't know if any of you know that we have Chilton's online, and it is awesome. It's great. Instead of those, really greasy old books that people used to bring back, we now have it online. You print it out, you take it home. It is amazing what is available if you know how to find it. Inaccurate information is falling all over itself to be noticed. A trained library professional can help one to find the right information every time. I would urge you, if you do not have a library card, to get one if just for the information available online from home that is accessible only with a library card. Reference USA, Overdrive, and Hoopla. You may not know what you're missing. In the future, our residents will find that they have a space to hold meetings and connect to their neighbors. Those without a computer will find more equipment and will be able to work without bumping into the person on the computer next to them. Students and business people in need of a quiet space to work will find study rooms for individual and group work. Children and their adults will find a storytime room just for them, where literacy will be encouraged and modeled. Economics 101 in my freshman year at university taught me that good schools are an asset to a community. We know that people look at the amenities when they're deciding which community appeals to them as a place to live. Lapeer has an active community center, good schools, parks and trails, churches, super restaurants downtown and on the periphery, and a charming old library that just doesn't work anymore. With a new library right in the center of the city's educational corridor, one more fabulous community asset will be added to the city and to the county as a whole. And how are we going to find $12.5 million? That's the question. We have worked with a financial advisor at Public Financial Management who has projected that the cost of repaying bonds equivalent to that amount will cost the average homeowner around $25 per year. a couple of coffees per month. Reasonable? I think so. In addition to the bonds, the library board has contracted with a small fundraising firm that has just started that process with the board. Pre-feasibility meetings were held last week, and they will lead us to greater knowledge of the support that exists for this project. They will work on helping the board to decide on a goal for a fundraising campaign and on getting a fundraising group together. A committee that gets out the vote for the new library will need to be formed by the end of this year for the election in August 2018. Library staff will produce informational material for the public as we did for our operating millage in 2012. I have heard the library called a dinosaur. It is not. Our libraries are the cornerstones of our democracy. Other professions and services change, and so do libraries. People will continue to read, they will continue to communicate, they will continue to enjoy the community that they find at their public library. For our residents, we will continue to provide the space for them to learn about their history, to dream about who they want to be and what they want to accomplish, to provide in print, audio, and film the evidence that footsteps deserve to be followed and paths need to be forged. Thanks for listening. I did leave time for questions. Are there any?
What's the exact location where you're going to break ground on this?
DeMille and Davison, right across the street.
Okay.
So it's going to be right in front of Roland Warner. People have asked where we're going to place it on the lot. Traffic is a real concern, and I've just said, well, we're going to leave it to the experts to figure out what the safest way to do things is. So.
And then total square footage will be?
It's 35,000 up top, and we're going to have 15,000 square feet in the basement. The IT guys are really excited to be able to, get their stuff there and, have it readily accessible. Right now, trying to deal with D'Angeli, and I think it's 12-inch of concrete in between the floors. It's just really horrible. So.
And your color coding represents?
What it is, and I think as I said, I think architects like to play. Are there any architects in here? Do you like to play? He has changed the colors from his original scheme. We have a sheet that shows exactly how much is in each section, but he changed it. So it used to be that this was red. This is the adult section, reference, fiction, all of that. And as I said, this is equivalent to what we have now in D'Angeli, the entire space. This is the children's section. And so we have stacks. This is the story time area. And then they're going to have offices and space for storage. And every library I've ever been to, it doesn't matter how new it is, doesn't have enough storage. So we're hoping to be able to have that. Does that mean we need to collect junk? No. We're going to have meeting rooms. This meeting room, I think, is 2,200 square feet, and it's going to be a 60-40 divide, so we'll have a divider in the middle. So we'll be able to have two fairly significantly sized meetings going on at the same time. The meeting room we have now is 740 square feet. And if you've ever tried to get into it for a meeting, it's almost impossible. We plan on having some space for a friend's bookstore at the top, whether it'll be a small area that people just either use the honor system or bring stuff to us at the circulation desk. We're not sure yet, but they are going to have a presence a little bit bigger than they have now on the top floor. The teen section is here, and this is a little controversial because the teens have said that they want to be totally separate. They don't want to be near the children. They are no longer children, and they want to be totally separated. But we've been talking about, there is another design that shows the teens near the children's area and having a desk that would span children's to tweens, those kids that are in the middle, over into the young adult or the teen section. So this is going to change. And we also have, and this is the office and workspace for the staff. So we've got offices for director, assistant director, and the business manager. We've got open offices for staff. There's a workroom there that will allow the circulation clerks to receive materials and send them out. Right now they're working out of, I think, something like 200 square feet, which is really horrible. And then we also have, there's a business incubator and a makerspace or a lab for, creative type things. In Detroit, they have a bicycle repair spot. They have sewing machines and people sew. It's anybody's guess as to what you can put into a makerspace. The D'Angeli collection is going to have its own space. Right now, it's not atmospherically protected the way it should be, and so we're going to have a room that will make sure that that paper does not disintegrate. And then we're also, and that will probably be tied in to the same type of conditions with the local history room and genealogy. Genealogy is looking forward to having their collection of D'Angeli, and it'll give people more access to it. I'm saying D'Angeli, but that name has come up as a controversial thing too about what we're going to name this. And then in the center is the circulation area where people check things in and out. We're probably going to have more self-check than we have now. And also, there's some collections here, I think. What does he have here? Oh, actually, these are some PCs that people would be able to use around the circulation area. And that means that they'll have staff there that can keep an eye on them, and if they need help, they can get it. The one thing that this is going to provide that we don't have now is space for human beings to sit down and read and do what they need to do. Right now, I think we have about 25 seats upstairs and 12 or 14 downstairs, and I think we're going to have over 100 in the building itself. In addition, we'll have a lot more computers than we have now. We only have 10 or 12 for the public at D'Angeli right now. We're going to have upwards of 60. So it's going to be, I think all of us are pretty excited at the prospect. We know it's going to be a lot of hard work. If you read the paper, you see that there are a lot of people who think that we don't need a new library, that the one we have now is perfectly fine, and that everything is on the internet, which I disagree with. And so, but we're ready for the fight, and we're hoping that, we'll get support from the community, so. Yes?
Sorry, I missed the very beginning. And maybe this is, you already covered it. Where is it going to be?
It's going to be we have signed the purchase agreement. We have not had the closing for this 8.5 acres at the corner of DeMille and Davison, right across that way.
All right, in front of the school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Anything else? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
You had mentioned something about an outdoor space as well. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, what it is that, we, one of the designs has a reading patio outside the children's area. I think all of us have seen libraries that will have either patios or something now is called a story walk, where you have trails and little, pages from picture books along the way. So, and I love biology and nature and all that stuff. So we should have plenty of space to be able to take people outside or to go outside and read if you want to. Oh, by the way, we also want to have a little cafe there, so you can go outside with a cup of coffee. And I think because we have that 8.5 acres, we have plenty of space. And I know that I've talked to Mr. Curbison about the whole thing with the trail that he wants to build, the plans to go all the way into the area west of where our property would be. Is that it? Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. Okay, our next guest speaker, Casey Rich and Kelly Myers from Lapeer County ISD, and they are going to be talking to you about a community conversation, and you may have seen the slide rotating up here. So they're going to give you that information. It's going to be at the Lapeer Center building, Thursday, April 27th, 6 to 8 p.m. And I am going to have them talk to you about exactly what this community conversation is. Ladies?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Casey Rich.
I'm Kelly Myers. I'm a teacher consultant for students with autism with the Lapeer County Intermediate School District, and Casey is the supervisor for special education students at the Ed Tech Center. And we just wanted to take a moment to give you some information about an upcoming event that we will be hosting in April. You may have seen the flyer scrolling up on the screen. We do have some handouts of our flyer. It looks a little bit different, so if you see that flyer around, it may have been distributed already. It looks a little bit different now, but all the information is the same. It's the same event, we just cleaned it up a little bit. So just want to give you a little bit of information about an upcoming event.
All right, so to give you a little bit of background about where this is coming from, at the ISD we are connected with the START project, which is Statewide Autism Resources and Training out of Grand Valley State University. START focuses, they are funded by autism, but all of their strategies and information and programming that they offer is for all people with disabilities. So we'll see the name autism throughout this, and that's kind of how it's marketed, but we're talking about all individuals with disabilities. And as part of our connection with that grant, in 2010, they added a component for working toward employing individuals with disabilities. And so Kelly and I kind of were the ones heading that for the ISD. We started with one student using a customized employment approach, which we'll learn more about at the community conversation if you're able to attend. And since then, it has just grown. So prior to receiving that grant, we had students at the Ed Tech Center, is what we'll speak about specifically, who would work at Go in teamwork for some employment opportunities. And with recent legislation and changes in our thinking and what we're discovering about our students' abilities, we are seeing that they are able to really make a valuable contribution to businesses in our community. And this trimester alone, we have students in over 18 businesses in Lapeer County, so among the 5 school districts that we service. So to give you some information about who we're talking about, so you have an idea of numbers here. We service 5 local districts, and there's 1 ISD program. But in Lapeer County, we have 1,494 students with disabilities ages 3 to 26. So that doesn't include our 0 to 3 population that is increasing in numbers as well. Of those, 153 of them are ages 18 to 26, so post-secondary age, working towards employment, independent living, all of those things. And so that's just some information for you about people with disabilities in the community. So our challenge is to increase capacity and commitment to meaningfully include these people in the business world and in employment. And the process that we use to do that we'll talk about throughout the presentation, but we want to get new partners and get the word out and raise some awareness about this challenge in our community, that we have 1,500 people now with disabilities in our community who we have an obligation to help include in what we're doing.
So this slide just demonstrates, like Casey said, our grant is funded for the purpose of autism, but we apply the information to all students with disabilities. But for specifically autism, this graph just demonstrates the numbers in our state. So numbers of students who are eligible for special education services as autistic impaired. And so you can see down at the bottom, and that was 1990, there were under 2,000, probably around 1,700 students in the state eligible as autistic impaired. And today, well, 2015, we're approaching 19,000. So the numbers are growing exponentially. So just to give you an idea of the growth of students with just autism in our state. This slide demonstrates where those students are in age today. So if you kind of look at the top of that wave, we're looking at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds. So thinking about all of those individuals, and we're again looking at close to 1,400 students at the top of that who are that age that are going to be entering adulthood and hopefully the workforce. So we have a wave of these individuals coming in, and the numbers are only growing, so we have to figure out how to support them. This slide just demonstrates, it lists all of the impairment categories. So if a student is eligible for special education services, they have to meet criteria under one of these eligibility areas. And autism is at the bottom, and what it's demonstrating is outcomes. So they're looking at independent living, employment, those types of things post-school. And students with autism have the lowest outcome rate. And they have a lot to offer. That shouldn't be. So we really have to put some efforts towards bumping that up, having better outcomes for students with autism. Just some national data, within the next 15 years, more than 500,000 Americans with ASD will enter adulthood based on the rising incidence of autism. The lifetime per capita incremental societal cost of autism per individual is estimated to be $3.2 million. So as individuals, as business owners, as taxpayers, it really behooves all of us to figure this out and figure out how to get better outcomes for these individuals.
So this slide kind of outlines the old way of thinking. So we want to make sure that we're not talking about this in terms of a charitable event to give a person with a disability a job or have them come in and be an assistant in your workplace. We are talking about identifying the valuable contributions that our students have to offer to places in a business where a need is in a business and making that match. One of the strategies that we use when we're talking with businesses is what's not getting done in your business, what do people not want to do, what's taking up people's time, and then we're looking for a match based on what we know about our students' abilities, using certain supports that they're able to make that valuable contribution to your business. So in the past, we may have looked at it as a kind of a charity orientation, and now we want to see this as we have people who are motivated and excited about working. They have a skill set that will add value to your workplace, and it's a business solution that can improve productivity, and we'll see some examples of that as we go along. So at the ISD, our program that we use surrounding employability is called the BEST program. So it's the Business-Based Employability Skills and Training Program. And after we received that training from the START grant and began about 4 or 5 years ago with our one student, it kind of shifted all of the programming that we do. So at the Ed Tech Center, we service students ages 3 through 26 of varying disabilities and varying in intensity and severity as well. And in the past, our programming looked a lot different, and now almost everything that we do is focused on employability or discovering what this person will do for employability. So we're no longer asking, is this person ready to work or will this person work? The expectation is that they will work, and it's on us to find out where they'll work, how they'll work, and what they'll contribute. So we do that through a lot of different ways. In-house, we have 9 classrooms, and so they all operate a classroom business. So even starting at the elementary age, we're learning some of those basic employment skills, following directions from a supervisor, completing tasks in sequence, all of those things that we need, regardless of where we work. We do some work in-house. We have Rubber Enterprises from Imlay City sends us some work to do in-house. Stone Soup sends us some work to do in-house to help with that skill building and preparing for community-based employment. On the next level, when students turn 18, they operate in a group work site, so it can have up to 4 students with 1 job coach in a place of business. And I'll show you some examples of where we're at. And then the goal, ultimately moving along that continuum, ending with paid employment. So when they leave us, by the time that they leave us, we've worked through that process, really found a specific skill set that matches a need in a business in our community, that they are then out working. And work might look different for a lot of our students. For some, that might be 2 half-days a week based on their stamina. For some, that could be 20 to 40 hours per week. So it's very individualized. And as I mentioned earlier, 18 this trimester alone with business partners. There's just some pictures of some of our students working. So we have a student working at Head Start in Imlay City, a student at Edible Arrangements here in Lapeer, who I was talking with a coworker of hers at that business and just complimenting, when things get busy and the phone's ringing and people are picking up, we know that she's going to be standing there putting grapes on sticks, and that's what we need. We need the grapes on sticks in order to get them done. So her loyalty and commitment to staying on task. Another picture at Stonegate in Lapeer, a student, she was hired after graduation and is doing wonderful job there, loves to socialize with the residents, so she has the opportunity to set up for lunch, take a break and mingle, and then clean up for lunch. So really customized with the employer. It meets a need for them, and it meets her needs as well. Some pictures of in-house. There on the bottom, we have the Clark's Landscaping and Rubber Enterprises in Lake City. These are just some more places that we are this trimester. So Holiday Inn has been one of our really strong partners, really good supporters of the program. Stone Soup, Goodwill, Walgreens, Vic Bonds has been another wonderful partner and very loyal and willing to go above and beyond for our students. It's been wonderful. New in Lake City schools, working in the bus garage, Sears downtown, or here on 21. So those are some of the places that we have. And again, this is just this trimester. They change all of the time.
So we've alluded to this a little bit, but again, this isn't just a charitable request that we're looking for. Our students have something to offer. They can be very precise and accurate in their work, excellent attention to detail. Some of our students are always, they're going to be there. Some of our students are prompt, and their attendance is 100%, almost to a fault. So some of those characteristics really lend themselves to employment and to businesses. Again, leading to better outcomes for our students, but they have something to offer businesses as well. There are some benefits to employers. There's a work opportunity tax credit. We'll talk about some of these things at the event in April to give businesses some information about that. So forward thinking in Lapeer County, creating real learning opportunities in real businesses, matching individuals with needs of a business, with the skills and abilities of the individuals. And we've been doing this for 4 years with successful partnerships, and it's growing, but we need to get the word out and continue to grow. So what can local businesses do? They can help promote this event, hire individuals with disabilities, continue partnership with the schools, speak out and share what you have learned with other small businesses. So there's a need to spread this awareness, to get this information out to the community, let them know that this is even an issue, and let them know about our students and what their skills and abilities are. And what the event is called is a community conversation. So it's a way to bring members of the community together, start engaging in this conversation and spread some of that awareness to start addressing this challenge. Go ahead, we're on about out of time. So at the event, there will be a brief presentation about customized employment, about some of these challenges, and then we will have facilitated roundtable discussions that are led by some individuals that are on our community, or on our committee. So what we ask of you is to help spread the word. Attend the event in April. We have flyers that we will leave today, and we will be forwarding a new flyer to Nita as well. There will be light refreshments, and there will also be some giveaways. So we appreciate your help with this initiative. Add anything?
Any questions about anything that we talked about?
What about, you talked about businesses, but what about other, like, nonprofit organizations? Are you trying
Absolutely.
to?
What the purpose of it is really to bring, first level is to bring awareness to the community about this challenge that we have 1,500 people with disabilities in the community who we want employment to be, something that they achieve in their life. And so just having conversation, parents, stakeholders, educators, if you're supporting an individual with disability, nonprofits, anyone from the community, I think that the goal is to see this as a community problem.
And are these paid positions?
They can be, some of them are work-based learning, so it's just for the experience, so they might be there for like an internship for a trimester, and all of those things, please don't let that commitment be something that doesn't allow you to come to the conversation, because there's lots of ways to participate and support the program.
Okay. Questions?
Thank you.
All right. Okay, our sponsor today, Cheryl Schank from Gateway Apartments in Turrill Estate. Cheryl, where are you? There she is. Come on up.
Look at that, got your own cheering crowd. Well, thank you, good morning. My name is Cheryl and I manage Turrill Estates in Lapeer, and we are actually located right next to Meyer. We offer spacious 1 and 2 bedroom apartment homes, and we have modernized appliances such as your stove, dishwasher, refrigerator. We have awesome, big walk-in closets, nice pass-through breakfast bar, private balconies, and for those of you, well, real quick, sorry about that. I'm not used to speaking out loud, so. But if you know anybody in the area that might be like building a house and needs like short-term leases, we do offer month-to-month, 3-month, and 6-month short-term leases. And also in unfortunate circumstances, such if there was ever like a house fire, I have housed families, furnished housing. And I actually furnished 5 apartments for the solar, they built that solar panel there. Yeah, and I furnished 5 of those for them too. So we have a nice big playground, for the kids to play on, and we are pet friendly. So we just have some pet restrictions. And what's mostly so great about Turrill Estates is that everything is included in your rent. Your heat, water, sewer, and garbage pickup is all included. The only other thing that you'd have to worry about is just electric, and that runs on average about $40 a month. In our 1 bedrooms, there are 700 square feet, and it's actually completely handicapped accessible. So it's got like the bigger hallways. The cabinets are a lot smaller, or a lot lower, I apologize, a lot lower. And the bathroom is fully equipped with like grab bars and everything. So if you know anybody who needs that type of apartment, we do have that to offer. The view is great sometimes. I mean, people love the parking lot view. It's funny, like, no, I like to know what's going on. But other people love, like the wood view, and we have that to offer. And actually, there's a part in our community where there's a big field, and you see deer all the time. And, like, it's really, really cool to see that. We have a great resident referral program as well. So if if you're a resident and you know someone looking, we do offer rent credit on that as well. We have 24-hour maintenance on site, so that's nice too. Real quick about Gateway Apartments, I do manage that as well, and that's my low-income housing, and it's based off 30% of your income. You have to at least make $1,000 a month to qualify, unless you have a MSHDA voucher or Section 8, but I do offer that as well. So thank you so much. Anybody have any questions at all, or? I do appreciate you listening to me.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Cheryl. Well, some good things. Good things to know. I mean, it's getting to be that time of year people are thinking about listing their homes and selling, and so if you get kind of caught in between, it's good to know that there's a place where you could have a little temporary housing before your house is finished or you're closed and you're ready to make that move. So that's good information. Okay, our first nonprofit today, Loretta. Is Loretta here? Where's Loretta? Nope, Loretta didn't make it. Okay, Teresa Brandt, Lapeer Community Theater. Teresa, I know she's here. I saw her come in. Nope, don't see her. And then our next one will be Peggy Patton, Families Against Narcotics.
Thank you, Nita. Good morning. I am Teresa Brandt. I'm the treasurer for Lapeer Community Theater. We are a nonprofit organization doing mainly our shows over at the Pix Theater. We have a show coming up, Life in the Middle Ages. It was written by our very own Richard Hinkst, who is one of our members. He has written various mystery dinners for us, and this is his first full-length play. It centers around a middle-aged man who finds a job opportunity outside of his field. And it basically centers around him as far as changes in his life and him going to a class reunion and his old friends helping him out. It's very much middle-aged, centric, excellent show. The performances, first 2 weekends in May on Friday and Saturday evening at 7:30, very easy to remember. And we are also looking for sponsors for the show. The sponsorship for 250 gives you a full-page ad in the program, a thank you from the stage before the performance as an announcement for your business, and also 10 tickets to that performance that you can give to friends, family, coworkers, clients. If the 250 is too large of an amount for your business, we are also selling ad space in the program. Ads in a program in a theater get looked at because you're sitting there before the show with not a lot else to do, and you're looking through the program for the cast bios and so forth. So it's a very good investment. For a full page ad, it is $125, half page $75, a quarter page $50. And as you can see, the one I'm holding up, Jackson Dental did our last show. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Peggy Patton, Families Against Narcotics, and also Peggy received our Female Citizen of the Year Award for 2017.
Thank you, Nita. I asked her if I could take just a few moments to say thank you very much to the Chamber for selecting me. I feel very honored, and I also wanted to let you know that the $500 that our group received went to host an assembly at Lapeer High School. Today I'm here to talk about the 2 fundraising events that we have during the year, and the money that we raise does help us put on those assemblies as well as community events where we're educating the community about the issues of addiction. And our spring fling, you have a flyer in your bag, is coming up on May 6th. It's at the Lapeer Country Club. It's a wonderful evening, a wonderful dinner, entertainment, and a wonderful speaker. Tim Brady, our treasurer, Tim, raise your hand, is here today. I'm sure you will want to get a ticket before you leave, but if not, you do have information about how to reach us later. Also on the back is some sponsorship information. If you would like to have some information in our booklet, I put some of those on your table so you can see what those look like from last year. There's information on the back here about how you can come alongside of us and help with a sponsorship. The other event that we do is our Run Drugs Out of Town in August. And if you advertise with us at our Spring Fling, your advertising acknowledgement will also be included in our Run Drugs Out of Town information. Your name will be on the back of the t-shirt, as well as any other events that we have, and we're acknowledging the people that come alongside with us. We have events coming up at North Branch High School as well as Lapeer High School on May 12th. So thank you very much for the support you give us and the work that we're doing in the community. Great.
Thank you, Peggy. Lots of good information there. And one other thing that I wanted to just touch base on too, and you'll get some information about this. We've already posted it and some information. Tilted Access Brewing Company is now offering a new member-to-member discount for chamber members. It's a 10% discount if you're a chamber member, and they've got some new hours coming up in May, which would be their summer hours. Information we've sent out, but you do need to have your member-to-member key tag, which you have seen earlier scrolling up here, and those are on the front desk. So that key tag has Lapeer Chamber of Commerce on it, and you need that, just like your little Kroger key tag or any other one, to identify yourself as a chamber member and any of your staff members who want them. So you need to make sure that you have those, and there are some up on the front tables, or you can stop by the office if you need extra ones in order for you or your employees, your staff, to stop in and take advantage of that special member-to-member discount from Tilted Access. Our next nonprofit, Mr. Glenn Ream, he's going to come up here and talk a little bit about the moving wall that's coming very soon this year. Hey, my friend.
Good morning. I have this shirt on here, which was 2007. That's when I met her.
That's
She took over as the person in charge of the chamber that year. And the chapter and the chamber worked together along with countless other organizations to make a very successful moving wall that year. Now, 10 years later, we have it back again. It will be in Elmont, Michigan. Now, a little history here. No one in the history of the moving wall, which started, I believe, back in 1982, has anybody ever had it 4 times. This will be our 4th time. And thanks to the people of our community with volunteers, monetary support, just the cost of the wall getting here is $5,500. So I have some flyers here. I'll mount them over. Come on here. There we go. So if you want to pick up a flyer, it has the address. Our next meeting is going to be Thursday, April 6th at 7 p.m. at the Elmont American Legion on School Street in Elmont, 7 p.m. We do have some volunteers already signed up. We have raised approximately $2,080 so far. But it usually costs somewhere, by the time you get done with it, about $8,500. So if you want to donate and help us out, it takes materials to get the wall in place. We have a very good rapport with the people from the moving wall. That's why we get it when we do, and with the help of the community of Lapeer County, since we are Lapeer County Vietnam veterans, we really appreciate everybody that steps up and helps us with these projects. You want to take part in the parade, which this year, since it's been growing, we're going to start the line up at 9:30 in the morning. So if you need or you have any questions, the chamber is one place to call, or the American Legion, or my phone number's in the phone book, but you'll have to track me down. So. And I just want to say this is my 25th year as secretary, straight year as secretary of Chapter 287. I'm also the treasurer of it. And it's been a pleasure meeting her and all the people in this community since 2007. I think in June of 2007, I don't know if I bumped my head or she twisted my arm, but she convinced us that we should be a member of this Chamber of Commerce, and it's been a wonderful working relationship. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate it. It has been a great relationship. A lot of the information that we're talking about here and the events and things for the nonprofits are in your bag. Information about the new member-to-member benefit, the information about the meeting coming up with the ISD and so on. So a lot of that stuff is in your bag. And we do have the information at the office. If you think about it later and go, oh, I forgot, what is that? What's that date? You can give us a holler. We'll get these things up on our calendar events at the office as well. So if that's helpful. And we do, send out reminders. So our next gentleman coming up here, our next nonprofit, Lapeer Optimist Club, Mr. Dougie Kohler. Give him a big hand.
Morning, Lapeer. How y'all doing? Good. Since 1978, this number grows. the Lapeer Optimist Club has raised at least $2.5 million into Lapeer, every cent. We just donated $40,000 to the Links program, and there's another big benefactor coming out to be announced soon. Saturday, after the St. Patty's Day at the American Legion, the Lapeer Optimists are having our annual Vegas night. It's $20 raffle ticket. You get a chance to win 500 every hour, 4,000 at midnight. If you hit the 500, you still go in for the big one. Saturday night, doors open at 7 at the American Legion. You buy a raffle ticket, you get in for free. Adult beverages, some food, and lots of fun. And I want to thank you all for donating and helping the Optimist Club be what it is. Thank you.
Thanks, Dougie. Okay, Ed LeVar, WMPC Radio, come on up here.
That sounded like Bob Barker, come on down. I just want to share with you an email that we received recently. My name is Marion. I love music. I think that music is one of the most important things in our life. One day I heard your radio station. You have a great variety of fine songs, useful programs. Needless to say, I continue to listen to your radio station through the internet. The thing that's amazing about the letter is Marion lives in the Ukraine. We've been hearing from people in South Korea, Tanzania, Germany, Australia, France, as well as around the country listening to our station. And it amazes me how somebody can be sitting at a computer half a world away or at their cell phone searching for something and find WMPC and start listening. I mean, I don't know what they're searching for, but they're obviously finding what they're looking for. And we just praise God that He's bringing us new listeners all over the world. Speaking of music, our Share-a-thon's coming up in April. We have Brian Free and Assurance. This is in your bag. It's a free concert. Everything we do is free. We never charge anybody for anything. So if you could find a place to put this somewhere in the next month, that would be great. It might encourage somebody to listen, and who knows, they'll find what they're searching for. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ed. Okay, we're going to do 50-50.